Mmm. Sorry guys, you caught me eating a watermelon. Can you tell this delicious treat I have right here? Anyways, sorry. Do y'all know what it takes to have a watermelon here in our table? Do y'all know? Well, I don't. But today we have Miss Veronica Mandujano from Mandujano Brothers Produce here to read a story for us. They are out there in Cayanosa, Texas, and they took a little bit of their time to be here with us. So, hope you like her story.
Hi, my name is Veronica Mandujano, and I'm from Mandujano Brothers Farms in Cayanosa, and we have watermelon and cantaloupes and peppers and onions and pumpkins that we grow every year at our farm. And today I'm here at the library in Fort Stockton, and I'm going to read you a fun book for your summer reading. The book is The Snatcher Book, Who's Stealing All the Stories? And it's by Helen Daugherty. You can find this book at your library too if you want to come check it out. One dark, dark night in Burrowdown, a rabbit named Elissa Brown found a book and settled down. When a snatcher book flew into town. In every house, in every bed, a bedtime book was being read. So you can see all the kids reading with their parents at night. But the snatcher book came by. Tales of dragons spitting flames, witches playing spooky games, pirates on the seven seas, princesses trying to sleep on peace, and every child in every bed listened hard to each word said. Eliza Brown at number 3 was reading quite contentedly. Her curtains opened just a chink. She barely had a chance to blink. Her storybook just disappeared. Elisa found that very weird. The little owls on Mommy's lap were quite surprised to hear a tap against their bedroom window glass. Tap, tap. The noise came really fast. Before they'd even looked around, the book was gone without a sound. The wind blew wild across the sky. The smallest squirrel heard a cry. "What's that?" she whispered to her dad. But then, and this was really bad, before they'd had a chance to look, she'd lost her favorite book. And so it went, night after night. Books disappeared from left to right. 5 books here, 6 books there. The shelves began to look quite bare. In Burrowdown, the rumor spread of book thieves under every bed. Eliza Brown at number 3 was keen to solve the mystery. So she planned one night to lie in wait and use a pile of books as bait. Long hours passed without a peep. She'd nearly fallen fast asleep when suddenly Elisa heard a flap of wings. Was it a bat? A bird? Elisa saw a shadow loom enormous right across her room. What kind of monster could it be? Elisa thought. You don't scare me. And yet her heart was beating fast. She'd have to face the thief at last. She threw the window open wide and shouted to the thing outside, "Stop stealing all our books right now. Just give them back. I don't care how." "I'm sorry," came a little voice I really am. I had no choice. Elisa looked down in surprise. She couldn't quite believe her eyes. So, who are you? And what's your name? The little creature hung its head in shame. He mumbled with a mournful look, I'm just a little snatch-a-book. Elisa nodded solemnly. She sat the creature on her knee. You can't just come and help yourself to every book on every shelf. A tear rolled down the creature's eye, and softly she began to cry. I know it's wrong, but can't you see I've got no one to read to me? Elisa sighed. He looked so sad. If he just had a mom or dad to read to him stories every night, well then he might behave all right. That very night they hatched a plan. And so the Snatch-a-Book began. To give back all the books he'd picked. Elisa Brown was very strict. Then, trying hard to prove himself, he stacked them neatly on each shelf. And when he'd made his full amends, Elisa called on all her friends and told them how he'd worked all night to turn a wrong into a right. And now each night in Burrow Down, as darkness falls upon the town, in every house, in every bed, a bedtime book is being read. The end. So like in this book, the Snatch-a-Book would steal the books from all the other little animals. But at our farm in Mandujano Brothers, when we have our fruit on the ground, growing on the ground, we actually have some little rabbits. So the little rabbits at our farm are our snatch-a-fruits because they come into the fields and they bite on the little plants or they bite on the fruit. I think they like the sweet smell of the cantaloupes and the watermelon because it attracts them to them. And so they smell the sweet smell and then they start biting on all the plants. So that's a big problem that we as farmers have on our fields. So just like the little rabbit, he had to find a solution to that problem, right? He had to talk to the little Snatch-a-Book about stealing the books. So at our farm, a solution that we have found is that we grow another grass to shield our field where our watermelon and cantaloupes are growing. That way the little rabbits come into our field and maybe they'll be attracted to that greener grass before they can reach our watermelon and cantaloupe. The funny thing about those little rabbits is that that's their favorite fruit, the watermelon and the cantaloupe, because we also have jalapenos and onions and pumpkins, and they don't get into those fields as much, but they do love their watermelon and cantaloupe. That's just their favorite. I just think the sweet smell really attracts them. So just like the little Snatch-a-Book in this story, we have little Snatch-a-fruits at our farm. But just like every problem, you have to find a solution. So maybe you can come to the Fort Stockton Library and you can check out this book so you can read about the Snatch-a-Book. And this book is We Are the Gardeners. And this book talks about the process of planting a garden. So if you come and check this book out and read it, you can read about the process that we as farmers at Mandujano Brothers go through to plant our seeds and water and make sure we have good soil and all the processes that you go through when you plant a garden. And it even talks about little creatures coming into the fields and eating the crops and flowers or whatever you grow. So maybe you want to plan to grow a garden this summer, and this book is really going to help you out. It's called We Are the Gardeners, and it's by Joanna Gaines.